1, check 2. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour.
Hey.
With your host, Rob Cantrell. I have a very, very dope special guest today. I'm excited to have her on the program. One of my good friends in comedy and in New York and in Brooklyn. She was on Late Night with Seth Meyers. She was on Comedy Central. Please give it up for Joyelle Nicole Johnson.
Woo, yeah, it's me.
Joyelle.
Joy's in the house. I got coffee and I have cannabis.
Oh, so. You're the best guest. So, thank you.
Yes. How are you, Robbie Rob?
I'm doing good, Joyelle. I'm doing good.
Hey, you look good.
You look good too. You look great.
Thank you. Yeah, that hair is the way I remember it.
It needed a cut before all this. Now it's gotten into like cartoon land. Now it's just like, but I could give you the back. I could give you this, and I could hold it down.
Please, hello. You see my hair? I love a messy head.
Yes, I do too.
I love a fro, especially on a white boy.
Yes. It's vibrations of the soul. I always think there's something trippy about hair. It's like Jimi Hendrix had this whole thing that there's certain vibrations. Your hair, I don't know. I may have smoked a little bit before this episode.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? Like if you have straight hair, you can just, the personality, vibrations bring out whatever's on the outside, you know?
Yeah, because I think we definitely don't have corporate hair. Like straight hair is corporate hair, and we have the creative artist hair. Like this is not going to go into a 9-to-5 office desk. Our hair, so
that's true.
I believe it.
Jimi
Hendrix is right. There are vibrations with hair, and our vibrations say no. They will not be responsible at a job.
Do not put this dude in a cubicle.
You will regret this hire, is what our hair says.
It does. And it's in my soul. Anytime that I've ever had a 9-to-5, even before comedy, it just sat wrong in my soul. It was just weird. And I would try to fight it because I want to make rent. I don't want to go for my dream. That's a pain in the ass.
I would try my hardest, and it fought again. Like you said, my soul was like, no, this ain't it. This is not what we're doing. No. I couldn't even wake up on time. Like I could not get to a job on time unless it was in the afternoon. Like when I was waitressing and we'd have to be in at like 3:00 for a lunch shift, those are the times I could get to work on time, because 9:00 in the morning, gosh, no. Those aren't my hours.
My body's just waking up. I don't even know who I am at 9 a.m., dude. I don't know. It takes me till about 10:30 before I start checking into reality altogether.
And I think, did you normally wake up like that, or is it because you have a kid?
No, because I have a kid, I get up early, but I always got up early. But going back to how my body, I try to explain it to my wife, is like just my creative energy. My energy it gradually builds. And I'm up, but I can't do super shit. I can't socialize. I need to gradually.
Yeah.
The flower takes a minute to open up. It's going to take a minute for the sun to get in there, you know, and then during the day, but I'm optimal around from like 2:30 to 3, but then I want to go back down and then I want to go back out.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
I'm optimal around like 6 p.m., 5 p.m. to about 3 in the morning. Like those are my optimal hours, honestly.
Yes. I've seen you. You've gone hard, especially in New York. And I know how I've been in New York since 2005 doing stand-up. You've been in town over 6 years now, right? Are you in 10-year zone?
I'm a 10-yearer.
Yeah, you're a 10-year. That's what it felt like. I know your class well, and of all the comics that came up, and I just know that hustle. But I would say just even in the last 3 years, your work ethic, you've just been banging the boards. You've just been going out doing spots, and you'll do spots in Brooklyn, but you also do the mainstream rooms. you're going on tours, you're writing stuff, you're doing political stuff, you're directing videos, you're directing music. You've been working hard. How do you like quarantine time?
I mean, it's so interesting, and I've been telling people this, where you work so hard. Like, I worked so hard to get good at stand-up. I worked for over 10 years to get good at stand-up. And I was like, I'm finally good at something that's the most difficult thing and probably the world to get good at. And then it just gets all taken away. And now it's like, you have to pivot. You have to start a podcast or go on Instagram Live. And I'm like, this new reality is quite jarring, but I'm trying my best to roll with the punches. I'm trying my best. But yeah, I do love being at home, though. I will say that. I love being in the house. I was like, is this my dream? I think this might be my dream, to be forced to not leave the house.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. You're like, what am I going to do tonight? Oh, yeah, I'm going to stay in again.
I'm going to stay. I don't have to get on the subway. What?
Yeah, I don't have to go out. I don't have to, yeah.
Yeah, so I've just been trying to maintain a level of sanity with not being able to be out doing stand-up, because it's like an itch. Do you feel itchy? Like you got to get on stage? It's like a heroin addict withdrawal. Like I got to get on stage. So I miss the stage so much, and I will never take it for granted ever again. The second we can step a toe on a stage safely, I'm just gonna kiss it like getting on the beach after being stranded at sea.
It is great. No, doing stand-up comedy is one of the best thrills. Like I always say, the 4 natural highs that I've ever had was performing stand-up, riding a motorcycle with no traffic, like shifting the gears and riding a motorcycle. It's not safe. I don't want one, but I have experienced it. And I was like, dude, this isn't normal shit. This is freedom. Surfing and snowboarding were the other ones. But stand-up's just a huge adrenaline rush. I mean, that's, I think, why I always enjoyed it so much, was the adrenaline and just be like, yo, I'm alive. Let's do this. But I've been going hard for like 20 years. So I've been going hard since 99. And I'm older. And I've been meditating and stretching even the past 3 years. I want to talk about your stretching class and all that. But even the last few years. So I don't mind. I feel like my body's healing. In certain ways, it's like the universe being like, oh, this is your little breakdown. And I'm doing some Zooms. I'm getting Joyelle on the Zoom. I'm getting my podcast rolling. I'm hitting some cannabis. I'm having some coffee. So I enjoy it.
Kudos to you for anyone, because it's like, our people want to hear from us. Like, I think people want to hear from us, and it's just, I got to get over myself to be like, do something. And that's part of why I'm like, okay, I have to do something, because people want us to do something, because that's what they look to us to do. So
are you doing a lot of these Zoom shows and stuff? I mean, I don't like them, but they're out there.
I mean, I've done a few. I've done like maybe an average of like 1 a week.
Same.
And, you just got to suck it up, because no, it's not going to be like stand up. And I remember the first one I did was Butter Boy, and I was so nervous. I couldn't even. And then Marianne, for those of you that don't know, listening, is the booker of the show. She was just like, you can just banter with the host. And I was like, I'll do that. I'll banter with the host, because I can't do stand up into my computer. I was like, no. So that was the first one. But then I recently did the Nowhere Comedy Club, and Ben Glebe told me to stand up. He was like, are you going to sit down? I was like, I planned on it. He was like, stand up. You're a stand-up comedian. And that, like, something that I should have thought about was like, duh, stand up and do your stand-up.
Do your shit.
And that made all the difference for me.
And it worked out.
Stand up. Yeah, and it made me feel so much better about doing my set into a computer screen, because I was like, oh yeah, the energy is different when you stand up. So If you just got to stand up, you got to stand up. That makes it a little less painful.
I'll try that. I just haven't stand up. I've been sitting on my meditation mat was my first one.
Right.
And then this one is from my desk, but yeah, you're right. If I do a couple others that are a little bit, they're all very different. And I've always had fun, even though I'm bummed out right before I went on. Like, I'll be like, I don't want to do this. Something's telling me I shouldn't be doing this. I don't want to do this. And then it comes to me and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. And then it just happens and you just do some bullshit and it ends up being fun. Like the times I've done it, I've been like, oh, I just did work from here. Like I haven't left. I just did my job, you know?
Yeah, every single one, I was happy afterwards. I was fearing it, but it's just like the start of stand-up when you're like still doing open mics and stuff. It was like, ugh. But then afterwards, I was like, oh, that wasn't bad at all. That was actually quite fun. And yeah, so, you know, they're not terrible.
Yeah, they're not awful. And somebody gave me $60 afterwards. I was like, oh shit, nice.
I've gotten some money off of those. I've got a little bit of coin.
Yeah, there's some hustles going on, as you know, there's always been some hustles going on, but we're more core stand-up, so we don't really see the internet hustle. But right now, like, people are doing shows. I just started this as a Patreon, so like that's just gunning it. This will be free for audio, and I'll put up some clips, but for the full videos in the Patreon.
Okay, and yeah, that's something I need to learn because I've been hearing that word thrown around. It's like all these new words, Zoom, Patreon, like all this stuff, and I'm like, okay,
Cameo.
I have to. Yeah. Cameo. That's the one you record on your phone, right?
Yeah. That's the one that you give out shout outs because you're a celebrity.
Oh, Cameo. Yes, I know Cameo. There's some people on Cameo that are charging way less than they should that I've seen. Like, why are you $25? I would charge $25. Why are you're on television right now? Like, during quarantine, you're on television. Why are you charging $25? I'm confused. So yeah.
Yeah. If I did it, it would be like so much money. Like one of my Patreon levels is $10,000 a month. So but you never know. Some weirdo's got a credit card and doesn't have, you know, he's like, whatever, man.
We call those benefactors of the arts. That's what we call those. Yeah.
Would you do a Cameo if they asked you?
Hello, I'm a comedian. Aren't we like whores?
Yeah.
I will do a what? You want me to do something for some money during quarantine? Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the platform, does it? It's like if they're paying, it's rent, and it's comedy, and it's your comedy. If it's your comedy, it's like, yeah, that's the gig, man. If you're going to pay me to do it and you know what I do, I'm going to do it.
I have to do a sketch for an abortion palooza. And I do that for free, but they're like, we'll pay you. And I'm like, okay. Okay, sure.
Time is crazy.
Because hello, we all have done comedy for free. So it's like the fact that we get paid. And that was the thing. It's like 14 years and I finally was making the money. I was making all my money at stand-up, and I was so proud of myself.
You're killing it. You're still killing it. It's going to come around, Joyelle. And you were performing with the best of the best on this planet Earth, you know? So and it's hard. I've been in this town. I know all those clubs. I know all those comics. It's not easy. And you were right there getting serious work and being on television on a consistent basis, you know?
Right? Isn't that crazy?
That's
hot. My mother's finally like, my mother can finally be proud of me now. She's like, oh, you make money at this now? Great, thanks.
Yeah.
We waited a decade. She's like, why did we pay all that money to Boston College? Hey, I had to get socialized.
Yeah.
College was way more social for me than it was academic.
Same. I was an English major. I didn't use it, and it was all paid for by my mom.
Excuse you, you are using your English major every day.
I know, it is creative. I'm doing it, man. It's a podcast. I'm using it as much as possible.
This is a podcast. We are speaking English right now. You did it.
Yeah. What did you do today? Did you stretch today?
I'm going to stretch at 6 p.m. So I actually stayed up until 9 a.m. this morning. Speaking of how 9 a.m. are not my hours. I'm in a new quarantine relationship, and my boyfriend is he's a regular human. So if he could, he would go to sleep at 10 o'clock and wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And so I drag him to stay up later, and he drags me to go to sleep earlier. So both of us, our sleep schedules are like, what's going on? So finally he went back to his apartment last night, and I just did my whole vampire shit. I stayed up, and the sun came up, and I was like, oh, this is me. And I was texting him as he was waking up for work. So I was like, yep, this is your girlfriend. She is an actual vampire. Goes to sleep when the sun comes up naturally. That's my natural clock.
Don't be ashamed of it. You worked hard for that schedule. I think everybody wants that schedule. That's the only thing. When you kick that schedule to somebody, it sounds selfish, but it's like, no, for me to work optimally, like the comics that I've seen, like that have done it on a high level, like that's how they're working, especially if you're touring, then it's like, but even shooting television, it's hardcore. That's tricky even on itself, because you got to get up at a certain time. You got to be responsible for a lot of time. Yeah,
and I've just always been like that. Like ever since I was a kid. Even my mother said I was bouncing around in her belly at like 2, 3 a.m. So I'm just a natural, like, what's up at 3 a.m.? Let's go. Let's do it. Like, go to bed, bitch.
No. You're like me. You're a natural spaz.
I love it.
Life is good. I
love it.
I love that spark. I get it too. Like, I just get psyched on life, and I'm just like, let's eat some cereal. Let's fucking, I'm up, I'm out, I'm ready to chill. I get psyched to go chill.
That there was a the fact that there was an outlet for us, and that we didn't have to acclimate to the regular grain. I'm so thankful for that, because I'm like, we would be hopeless in an office. We'd be hopeless.
Yeah, we would be sad individuals.
Yes.
But I think what I'm hearing from the street is there is voiceover stuff coming through, and like cartoons and shit. So I don't know, lean heavy that way. I know you know everybody. You know Prince. Those earrings are so awesome. I love them. Prince.
I wish.
Yeah, I know. Prince is like the heaviest. Yeah, I never met him.
Animation.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, animation is dope.
I never met Prince. I was coming very close, but I never met Prince. Because I mean, every story I heard about him was just that, like, he would just have people over at Paisley Park and just have concerts in his warehouse for like the community. So I was like, one of these days, I'm just going to go to Minneapolis and just be chilling. Because it's like he would announce those parties like the night of.
Oh, yeah. Minneapolis is not a big town. Like anything outside of New York, it's only like 3 different clubs. So if Prince is playing, like everybody knows where he is. And no, he was cool to artists. He liked artists. Totally.
Yeah.
He was a patron of the arts. You always hear him jamming with people and going late and doing weird shows, but just playing to play like all night long. I never got to see those. Yeah. Did you get to see him live though?
Never got to see him live. And I have so many friends that are just like one person removed from him. And I was just like, it was going to happen. And I wanted to do that last concert he did at Madison Square Garden. I wanted to go, but that was back when I was broke and I couldn't afford the tickets. And all my friends were like, there are no extra tickets for this concert. Like, you can't.
That's a hell of a hookup. Nobody's throwing that around. Yeah.
No one was throwing the Prince tickets out. So I was like, all right, next time. And that's the same thing I said for Carlin. And there was no next time. So people stopped with the next time. We can't go out right now, but when we can.
Yeah, you got to see legends. I saw Stevie Wonder play, so that was awesome.
Did you see the songs of the Key of Life tour?
I don't know. I saw him at Bonnaroo, and he played a lot of those songs. I didn't see the songs of Key of Life. That's when that album came out. When did that album come out?
That album, I want to say, is 35 years old because I went to the 35-year anniversary tour of it. So I got to see him at Madison Square Garden and then also in Nashville.
Oh, shit.
And my mother has seen him every decade. He's only 2 years older than her. So since Fingertips, she's seen him every decade. And I'm just like, I wish I could have seen a preteen Stevie do Fingertips. She's like, she saw him in a gymnasium in Harlem when she was 13 years old.
Holy shit. That is wild.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I've seen Stevie, and his voice is still amazing.
Yep.
So, yeah.
He still kills it, and he's just got jam after jam after song, and he's like one of the best ever to do it.
Just turned 70, too.
Wow. Yeah, he's been famous since he's been 11, and just like, one of those proficient like musicians, like just like that was his life. Music, he had no choice.
No choice, like Mozart. Yep. No choice.
Wow.
No choice. Yeah. Like us.
Wow. When was the last live music you saw? Do you see concerts anymore? Or because I know comedy, it's hard. Like it's hard to go out like and be serious about seeing music.
I've been very lucky that a lot of my friends love music, and I'm friends with a ton of musicians. But the last thing I saw, I was on the Joko Cruise. Do you know what the Joko Cruise is?
Yeah, isn't that the Jokers?
No, I did the Impractical Jokers Cruise in February, but I did the Joko Cruise. Is Jonathan Colton's cruise. He is a folk singer, and he does this cruise every year where he'll bring a whole bunch of musicians and two comedians. And so me and Mike Kaplan did half-hour sets. We co-headlined on a cruise ship at the last week right before the quarantine hit, like March 7th to the 14th. We were on a cruise ship. And when I tell you, it was like music. There was a concert. Liz Phair came and did a concert in the Dominican Republic, and she was on land. Like, she didn't get on the boat with us. She flew into the Dominican Republic, was like, I'm not getting on that boat. Turks and Caicos didn't let us on the island. It was like the world was falling apart while we were on this boat, but we were having so much fun. It was just comedy and music and being nutty. Like Jean Grey and her husband Quale go every year, and they just do weird, because everyone's
amazing.
And she's just a big old weirdo. Rapper. So
yeah.
I mean, she's on the cruise singing. She's doing live readings of plays she wrote. Like she did an update of Cats. So we did Cats 2, the Meowsicle, and people were there for that. So it was just like a nutty, nerdy time. And when I tell you, if that's the last thing I did for another year, that was a 7-day fucking bomb-ass cruise. And that was a good way to go out. Corona style, because we didn't know we were gonna get let back into the country. We were like, what's gonna happen when we get back to Fort Lauderdale? And we were one of the last cruise ships that they let leave Florida. And so on the 7th, that was a Saturday.
I heard about this.
Yeah, because the 7th was the last day they were letting cruise ships leave. So the cruises that were 2 weeks and 3 weeks, when they got back, they were quarantined.
Oh my God.
So our 7-day cruise, they let us back. The cruises that came in back after us, they were like, nope, you got to stay in the water I was like, what? If I had got quarantined on a cruise ship, oh my God, you would have been like, Joyelle, we need to send a search party. I would have jumped off the boat. So that was my last, like, I got to see real musicians playing, and it was amazing.
And burn it down. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, seriously did. They did. That land concert was crazy.
Mm. Yeah, I heard it's beautiful down there. The how do you pronounce it?
Turks and Caicos. So we went to the Grand Cayman Island in the Bahamas, and then Dominican Republic and Turks and Caicos. And Turks and Caicos was the last stop, so that was around March 12th. And they were like, nope, you can't come here. They said, where y'all? Nope, we don't know y'all.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Take y'all asses back to America, because we not. 2000? No. So you can keep that. We don't know where you are, what you've been doing. So,
do you know anybody that has gotten the 19? The COVID?
I mean, thankfully, I'm Vic Henley, the comedian.
You think he had it?
I thought that's what they said. He had it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was the understanding I get. Maybe it was just a rumor, but there was also a couple of comics.
It was during that time.
Yeah, there were a couple of comics in LA that got it as well. And I know people who think they had it, quotes around think. I know people that just were sick for like a week and just chilled in their home and, drank some vitamins and got better. So,
I heard of somebody having the antibiotic. Yeah, somebody got tested and got the antibiotic. That's kind of strong. Like, yo, I'm Iron Man now.
Yeah, because it's supposed to get worse for flu season this fall. So everybody stay in the house. Stay your asses in the house and wear a mask. Wear a mask.
Wear a mask. Are you staying in or are you going out? People are starting to venture out a little bit in New York.
I am the luckiest human on the planet right now because not only am I in a brand new relationship, so it's like we're in a honeymoon phase, but we have 2 apartments that are 2 miles away from each other, and I have 2 bikes. So we've just been biking back and forth in between our apartments, and it's the best thing ever because it's like you get the exercise, you get the change of scenery, and then we also are like, okay, you stay home, I'll go home. We get to stay apart. So it's just been perfect. And outside of that, we just like go to the grocery store. That's it.
Oh, wow. That's perfect. Yeah. That's a great setup. Yeah. You got 2 home bases.
2 home bases and my roommate.
And a couple bikes.
my roommate left to go to Florida. So I have my house to myself. And it was like, what? God? Okay, God, you be clowning, but also sometimes you come through with a little stimulus check.
People are making it work. I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you writing? Are you doing are you being disciplined? Like, are you writing during the day? Are you working on script or anything?
I am not disciplined. I wasn't disciplined before. I realize I'm a very active writer. Like I'm the type of person who on the way to the cellar will think about something and then try it on stage, Yeah. I'm not a person that sits down and is like, joke day, book open. I wish I could be like that. I feel like, like Michelle Wolf's like that. Like there are people that are just like joke, paper.
Yeah.
And I'm just not like that. So I'm trying to be disciplined. I'm trying to finish a screenplay. I just need to like settle my mind. There's too much going on. There's racism. There's
I know.
Like the world is so wide. It's racism. It's a pandemic. And my brain is like, what are we doing? So my therapist said, if you can do 2 things a day, be satisfied with that. And this podcast is one of those things. So
same, Joyelle.
So I'm crushing it. If I could do 2 things a day, so everybody don't be hard on yourselves. If you could do 2 things a day,
don't be hard on yourself. Never be hard on yourself. That's something I've been learning is never be hard on yourself. Like you could be hard on yourself, but also it's like life is a gift, It's just like you only got you just always be good to yourself. Like give yourself a pat on the back. Just to be rolling in 2020.
Yeah, I think that's what this time is for now. Like the earth is settling, nature's getting better. The smog in LA is clearing. The birds are out there chilling and chirping because, we're in the house. So now is the time to center ourselves and remind ourselves of gratitude and abundance and all that type of stuff. So that is where I am with it.
Yeah. I've been eating a little bit better. Like I get slothy though too. Like you can go sloth style so easily during this, but I also have been pretty good. Like I stretch, like today I stretch. If I'm not I do these things called the 5 Tibetan rites. Do you know about these joints?
I've heard about them.
Yeah, I've been doing those. Those are good. That's like my workout. You should check them out on YouTube. They're 5 like stretches. One stretches your heart rate, your chest, One does like your legs over your head. You just do them all in a row, and it's just mostly core strengthening. But I'm going to show you this one stretch. This is a whole change up today. I just learned this. This one, I got these stretch cards that are the bomb, but this is my new stretch. This was a game changer. You ready for it? That's a new
stretch for me. Come on. Right.
Take like this, right?
Yes. Yes. Open heart, open core. Yes.
Yeah, that's a game changer. That one. You do that right and left like that, everybody. You put I got a bandana. I've been using the joint that I've been covering my face with. But I did this because I had some lower back tweak for a day and a half. I was like eating aspirin and shit, and I never eat aspirin. But then I figured this joint out, and I was like, oh my God, like this just opens your whole chest plate up, arm, your lower back.
Everybody needs to stretch. Everyone needs to stretch.
What's your main stretch? What's your headline and stretch? Are you a cobra downward?
My go-to is just sitting on the floor, legs out to the sides, stretching down the middle.
That's a good one.
My favorite, and wiggling through it. Like wiggle through it. Wiggle your legs around. Move your body around. Like if you're feeling any aches, just kind of wiggle into it and just stretch forward. That's my go-to because that's stretching your whole entire body. So that's one of my favorites. And then stretching left and right knee from there. I love it.
Love it. Like this is the new one I learned was just, they said rock it. Mm-hmm. And you just let your arms, so you just like do this and you do this. And this stretches all that shit out, man.
Yeah, our bodies want to move. And circulation is what stretching induces, and circulation prevents disease. So,
yeah.
There you go.
Cheers. Joyelle, what are you drinking? What kind of coffee is that?
So, it's Colombia. I have never drank coffee in my life. This is new influence. You get in a new relationship. You start to, you're like, who are you all of a sudden? I bought coffee for the first time. And this is some black. I bought the bag because it was black. I was like, this is a black bag. I'm going to buy it because it's black. So it just says Colombia medium roast. And I have to put some soy chai in it just to, so it's kind of like a chai. A dirty chai happening over here.
Yeah, a little cinnamon kick. Like chai just has that, like just little cinnamon. I don't know what it is, but I can chai it up all day. I love chai.
And I love mixing it with coffee, and it just gives me a little zing and, helps you go to the bathroom. TMI? Okay, great.
So au natural. We are au natural. All of it's natural. And that's a good day. Like, if you got that accomplished, that's another thing to accomplish. If you had a good bowel movement, that's accomplishment.
Yes, that is accomplishment. It's the little things in COVID, baby. It's the little things.
It's the little things. Yeah. Colombian beans are awesome. Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, I'm new to the coffee grind. I've been buying avocados. What? Avocados. I am cutting up avocados, making guacamole. I don't know who I am.
Yeah, guacamole rocks, avocado rocks. I'm not full vegan or vegetarian. Like, I never believe in any of those. Like, I'm trying not to be conceptual. Like, just like, whatever you feel like you got to do, But I've been doing eggplant. I fucked up an eggplant parmesan the other day. I ripped it. I killed it. And then I got killed it. Yeah, I powdered it. I fried it up, just like fried it up in a pan with some good oil. I've been rocking some avocado oil. You gotta get some avocado oil, clean and mean, and rocks veggies. So I just hit it with some dust. I hit it with some Parmesan, like I breaded it, and then I got tomato sauce and Parmesan cheese. But then I did it with the simmer sauce too, and that was good. But I do mean. But I did do you fuck with the simmer sauce? You get the simmer sauce.
I don't know what simmer sauce is.
The simmer sauce. That's the Indian food. Like, they got just the jar of it. It's like $4.99. and it's just that good shit. And you can put chicken, you can put whatever, and you put it in that, and you put it over rice. I've been my rice game. I'm killing it.
I love me some rice. I love a carb. I'm a carb freak. So yeah, I'll try some simmer sauce. I'm trying simmer sauce and Tibetan stretches.
Yeah, 5 Tibetan rites. They say it's the fountain of youth. All these monks do it. It's like how the monks stretch out in Tibet, which is a pacifist society.
Yes.
Yeah, it's wild. The more Tibet, I don't know much about it. I know some about it, but it's it's trippy. It's wild.
Very peaceful.
Very peaceful. Do you meditate?
I have started doing that, and I'm doing a thing called 21 Days of Abundance with a group of friends, and there's a meditation in it every day. So I'm meditating a couple of times a week.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And it's something I never thought I would do, but it's necessary now just to be like, all right, shut up, mind, shut up. Let's breathe. Let's take deep breaths. Deep breath inhale when you meditate and when you smoke a joint.
And when you stretch and when you smoke, for sure.
Yeah.
But with stretching, it's breathing. Yeah, that's the thing. I read this whole book on meditation. It was all, and literally like 2 chapters was just about breathing.
Yep.
And,
and
how they were saying, like, a lot of people, like 70% of society doesn't breathe all the way. Like, you should really open up your lungs.
Shallow breather.
Yeah, shallow breathing. Like, you really should open it up and, get it breathing. Yeah, I've been doing some meditating. I'm psyched to get back to stand-up. Have you heard of people are doing shows, but it's looking July and August-y, and that's still kind of a gamble. Is that the word?
I am booked for the Big Hunt in October, I believe, and that's in D.C.
That's safe.
It's safe. We don't know because that's fall. And that's Dr. Fauci was like, look, fall is about to be popping again. He said, fall, if we don't get it together, it's going to be worse than the fall.
Oh, my God.
There's a bookmark in that in October. But I'm on a thread with like a bunch of comedians, and apparently there's clubs in like Utah and places like that are opening up. And I'm like, who is going to that? I want to know who's going to. I understand comedians because we're crazy, but who's going to see that? I'm not getting no. And the thing is,
people love stand-up. That's the trippy thing about it is, and you're successful and you're feeling the frustration, but comedy's hot right now and people were making some money. You know, the thing was up and running because Netflix was just killing it.
Yes. I mean, I honestly feel like I would have got I was hoping to get a half hour this year. And, things like that came to a screeching halt. JFL, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, we're going to pivot, but I'm not pivoting to get back on stage right now. That's just not safe, you know? I would love nothing more than to go to the cellar, but that's a basement. And they said basements with laughter and singing is what's going to spread the virus. So, right?
Yeah.
So depressing. So we might have to start doing shows at Washington Square Park or something like that.
The only people that got it rougher is Broadway, or do we have it rougher?
I don't know, because I thought about, like, imagine that actor who got booked in their first Broadway gig.
Yeah.
It was like, it's coming out in April or whatever. It was like, Mom, Dad, I did it. And then that shit stopped. Like, I think about those people. I think about, so many musician friends. I think we're all pretty, it's hard for all of us right now.
Yeah, it's hard for everybody.
All the performers, yes, it's hard for us. It's so hard.
But yeah, things at the Zoom world and all that's just like, so that's why I like you doing this. This is, as bunk as people say it is kind of cool, like just not leaving to go do some shit, you know?
Right.
You know, after you do those sets, you're like, oh, I'm still here. I haven't run around, but I would like to venture out. People are going to be itching. Hopefully they'll get a, vaccine and people will just be out, like, boom.
I also don't trust that. I don't trust here's the thing. I don't trust prototypes. I don't trust prototypes. Like, I want to get an electric bike. and there was a website that was reviewing like 10 electric bikes, and like 6 of those bitches are still in their crowdfunding stage. And it's like, I don't want the crowdfunded first edition of the bike. I want the bike that is already on the market, that came from Amsterdam and now has a store in Williamsburg. I want that bike because that's like the 5th or 6th iteration. I don't want this first vaccine. I don't trust it. I don't know what's happened. Like, it's an experiment.
It's a rush. Yeah, people are rushing. Yeah.
It's literally an experiment, and they're rushing to get to it. So I mean, I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I just feel like this first vaccine, I'm extremely wary of it. This is how zombie movies start. So I don't know if Joyelle's gonna be getting this first vaccine. I don't know. I might just stay my ass in the house. So
just see how it plays out. It's like if somebody says they're doing this drug, you're like, let me see what this other dude's
going through. Let me see how you act. Let's get on a Zoom in 3 weeks and let me see how you feeling, and then maybe I'll get it. I'll get the second vaccine. I'm not getting that first one.
Yeah. Have you been doing any art? Do you draw at all or paint? I get a painter drawer vibe from you. Are you just too tired?
I love that you say that. I did the Bob Ross challenge. Have you done the Bob Ross challenge?
I saw this. I haven't done it. I've done a video of I've done that before, but was it fun?
It was so fun, and I didn't know. And people were like, "Oh, you can actually paint," and I never thought I could, because you get a pencil and I draw Bart Simpson. That's all I could draw when I was little, just a rudimentary like triangle, square head. That's so. I was like, oh, I can actually paint, but I just don't have an urge to. Like, my urge is stage, so I have zero urge to paint. But if I sit down and paint, I'm like, oh, that was cool, but I don't think about it. Like, I'm never like, I have to paint. Like, that's never.
Yeah, that's the key right there. I was thinking, like, with art in general, like, but now that I'm older, like, I'll look at some shit and be like, oh yeah, because you could say, oh, this isn't anything, but everybody has their own style, like, and there's room for everybody. It's more about the passion or how you present it or the platform, what went into it, because if it's good, who knows? With art, you just kind of good. I put it out there. The same thing, like playing music, like I was always same thing with comedy. Like, I guess don't be intimidated is the whole thing. Don't be intimidated by the art form, because everybody's just kind of banging around up there,
Yeah. And also to know that artists are fluid. Like, we're the type of people that are like, I'm into a bunch of different things. Like, a lot of musicians love comedy. A lot of comedians love music and have a music inclination. And it's like, so many celebrities will be like, why is that rapper acting? And it's like, because he's an artist. That's why that rapper is acting. Yeah. That's why that singer is trying stand-up, because we love art and we want to do all the different types of art. So I feel like we need to chill on people. Yeah, some people need to stay in their lane, but I never fault somebody for trying something. And if somebody gonna pay you to try, I'll take money to try. Give me somebody for the attempt.
Yeah. I mean, with comedy, it's so definite. The comedy's the hardest, just because you got to get laughs. But with music or like painting, just like, oh, I guess that's good. It's anybody's ball game.
It's good if you like me and you think it's good.
Yeah.
But stand up, we're like, nope, get off the stage.
Yeah, you got to be funny. It's got to.
And I know so many people who are like so funny on Twitter, but can't get on stage, know? And it's like, those are the differences where it's like, oh, you're a funny writer. Like, you can write on a page jokes, but you get on stage, people will be like, that ain't it. So everybody has their forte, and those writers that are just good on paper still try stand up, and I won't fault them for it.
I was going to ask, do you like Twitter, honestly?
They're talking about shutting the shit down because they fact checked Trump. I was like, shut Twitter. I would love to not have to check.
I would too. I would
not have to check fucking Twitter, because
one less thing.
It plagues me. It plagues me every day. Like, I'll roll over and open my phone and check Twitter and just get bummed out because something's trending, some bullshit. Amy Cooper, whoever, George Floyd is trending. and Twitter is a bummer, man. I was
Yeah. You could just get sucked in. Like everybody knows, like social media is dangerous. Like, and everybody knows that if you don't handle it, it's gonna handle you.
Oh, for sure. This morning when I was up till 9 a.m., I was on a thread about peanut butter and jelly because I was so stressed out from the rest of the trending, and this one dude just was like, "Isn't peanut butter and jelly awesome?" And 60,000 comments. Like everybody was like, "Yes, toast it, grill it, put this on it," and it was just so fun to read because all these adults be like, "I'm 70 and I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day," and that was just a nice escape. So sometimes Twitter is good for that, but a lot of the times, get Trump off. I would love it if they shut. So Jack, you got enough money, you got other businesses. Shut this shit down. You would be an American hero. I blocked him
a long time ago, but it's bad. It's bad.
You would be an American hero.
That was the reason he won. That's what's so powerful about Twitter. Like, it's just fucking powerful in the sense that he won the election because of Twitter. And Twitter likes the negative. You know, it's just like. It's just, you know, it's fun, but it's like people are just smacking each other on the back of the head type fun. You know, it's like, it's a lot of it's for attention. Yeah, collection, you know, and just attention people just like, look at me, you know. Yeah, it stresses me out. But some people are funny on it, and I get bummed out. I'm like, should I be trying to be funnier on this fucking thing?
Right,
and then that takes work, and I'm like, well, I'd rather work on some shit I like to do. Like, I do like doing music. I do like directing videos and stuff like that. I was going to say, I get a director's vibe from you. You produced, like, you had a link on your Twitter. I did a little research. You had a link to your director producing debut for, it's a women's rights.
Yes.
Beyonce mashup. So, but I saw the directing. It looked dope. You did awesome.
I didn't direct it. I produced. I helped produce
Meaning
that
what?
video.
You had the idea. You said put this shit in there.
It was a collective from the group that I worked with. It was called Lady Parts Justice. Now it's the Abortion Access Front. And there was a collective idea from the group when Beyonce's song came out. We were specifically talking about the clinics in Louisiana. And so we were like, let's do a mashup. And then from there, I mean, I got the actors who were in the video. I found Jean Grey sang the song. I got her to do that. She did the arrangement for it. I got the costumes. I booked everybody. So just literally on the rudimentary production standpoint, I did all the
that's all artistic
for it.
Yeah,
but it was a team. It was a huge team effort. Liz Winstead is the creator of that organization, and she was the one directing the video. And we also had another director who came in for it. So it was a huge group effort, and I'm so freaking proud of that. Like to have produced, to have been, you know, involved in that. And it takes some work to produce a goddamn 3-minute.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah, filmmaking
is direct, edit.
Movies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's no joke. I always say, like, directing is sick, but movies is like the most expensive art form. Like, you're literally like, we're painting, or stand-up's just like, you know, you're just going up there and doing your shit. But producing a film, like all the money and all the arrangement, all the time, all the camera, like it is just like, it's almost like a government or a business. Like it has to operate like together, or it's just gonna not go be well. You know, it's not gonna work. Yeah.
So, and people don't realize how many people a movie will employ, and that's the big deal. Of, you know, it's like they'll say, "Oh, who cares about Meryl Streep, or who cares about what these artists and stuff think?" But I'm like, if Meryl Streep does a movie, she employs literally 1,000 people. Yep. She will employ from start to finish of that film. And I think about all those people whose projects got shut down. Like, whew, we all feeling it.
I worked on The Last OG, so I got to shoot a scene. It's coming up. Yeah.
Yes.
It was dope, but that's a huge production, yo. That thing was, but that was amazing. But they had like 2 different camps, and it's all New York, and this is all unionized people getting paid, and they're on their 3rd season. So a lot of these people have worked like 3 years on this show. It just shows you, like, a successful show employs so much business. Like people, you know, when it works, it just fucking works. But
I mean, I did warm up for Patriot Act.
I read about that. What's that gig like? Do you like doing that?
Here's the thing. Warm up is kind of terrifying because I feel like it's such a weight to be like, if the show's not good, and other warm-ups have said this, like if the show's not good, it's the warm-up's fault. But if the show's good, people don't really care about the warm-up. So it's like, you got to do your job so much just to let the show be good. But if it's not good, people are going to look at you like, bitch, you didn't do your job. So it's very intimidating. But I love Hassan's crowd, and his crowd is a bunch of nerdy, intelligent brown people, and that is my alley. Like, and they love crowd. Me. So yeah, and that's me. I'm a nerd. I'm a brown nerd. I'm a colored nerd.
Yeah. That's perfect gig. No, I've done that gig. I got to warm up, and it was the same situation. I warmed up for W. Kamau Bell's show. Totally biased. It was me and Mike Kaplan training off. But it was dope because it was like 4:30, and the crowd I was getting there was hipper than anything in Brooklyn or any other room in the city. It was like, this is all young, smart, progressive people that and they're going to do the political stuff, so I can just do my shit. You know, I can do it. Yeah, I can just do that, like, which is not political. You know, I support, but my shit, you know, is about, you know, bananas and fucking apples and snakes and animals
and
shit.
petting cats,
all that, smoking weed.
And that's the beautiful juxtaposition. Like, that's my favorite thing about opening for people is I'm usually not going to be like whoever's headlining, so they get, you know, people get 2 totally different comics, and people don't realize that's what you want to see from a comedy show. You want to see different perspectives, not just, you know, one type of a thing.
It's you want to mix it up, and always if it's just the same thing, it doesn't help even that dude,
right?
Or that chick. You know, it's like if they're doing this, it's not helping. You know, the overall show.
Right.
But, you've gotten to go on huge tours, like with Dave Chapelle. Who else? Have you gone out with Burr? Did you go out with?
I was able to open for Burr a couple times in Atlanta, but I was also on tour in March with Alana Glazer. So I was. I started March. We started the tour, and then I went on the cruise, and then I was going to come back to finish her tour. We were going to be on the West Coast after the cruise, and all of that got canceled. And those were like 1,000-seat theaters. So when I tell you those shows were like we did North Carolina and DC, man, and Alana's crowd. I mean, that's just like, what? Come on, they love me.
Oh, they love you. Yeah,
me.
They love you. Killed it.
Oh my God, just talk about the
and her vibe. Her vibe is just smart and funny and hip and cool.
But also pothead. So it's like
potheads,
You know, that's hello. Can we have a better crowd for me? So that was another thing that was real hard. Like that hurt when that got canceled. So that was a huge, and it was politically inclined as well. So that
was a hot gig. But they're gonna come around. You got to do, and Petey was on that tour, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And Petey is, I mean, the best host. Petey's the best host.
Yes.
He's the best host. I'm just gonna say that. He's like, there's no better host. And even for things that are like depressing, like we had a memorial last year for our comic who passed away, and Petey hosted it, and it was just like, he made that funny. Like he can make the most depressing situation funny. Petey's the best host. He's the best.
Oh yeah.
So imagine that, like 1,000 seats, PD's hosted. There's a DJ. I'm doing 15
shit.
minutes. What? Are you kidding me? Oh,
Theaters.
So thankful to have.
Yeah.
Theaters.
The hotel is clean and mean. You're getting in, you're getting out. The headliner likes weed. It's great.
Yes. So lucky. So lucky. So, like, what? I did this with my mind. Wait, are you paying me to be here? This is crazy. You're paying me to do this. Yeah. So
it's the best gig ever. Yeah, that's what's so hard about giving it up is it is the best gig ever. It's so good when you pull it off successfully. And this is when I think you know you're doing it right, when it's you feel like you're robbing them. You're like, oh my God.
Right. Like, are you sure?
Are you sure? Yeah. And then that's the best feeling ever. It's just like, wow, this is the best job. But all this stuff will come back around. And you're in everybody loves you and you know everybody.
I hope
and
so.
You're in New York. Yeah. When was the last time you toured with Dave Chapelle?
Oh, that hasn't, I want to say like 2012, maybe?
Yeah, that's when I think you first came to town. Because he's just been doing these theater tours forever, the last like 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's to get, I got some applause breaks in Little Rock, Arkansas once. And that was like one of my first times opening for him. And there's nothing like, once again, like any person who has their own fans, if they have their own fans, you're the icing on the cake because they're already happy because they're getting to see the person they love. So they're like, oh, who's this extra person that's just going to make us laugh? Like Hannibal, Alana, like all those people
have great crowds.
Especially Hannibal, like Hannibal's crowds. I've done tours with was Hannibal. He's put the most money in my pocket, and those crowds are the best because they're just ready. They're there for comedy. You know, they didn't just happen upon a comedy club. They got tickets and came to a theater. So
that's what I've learned with Hannibal is like people that are into Hannibal are really into comedy. Like you got to be a comedy connoisseur. Because it's not a swipe at him, and he is this, but he's not super mainstream famous. Like, he's kind of mainstream famous. You might know him, but if you know comedy, if like you're into stand-up comedy, you like love him. You know, it's just like he's just a comedy. Hedberg was that way. Like, comedy connoisseurs just love him, or he even has his own type of comedy. Like, it's wild. Him and Eric Andre, I get so inspired from.
Yeah, to just do their own fucking thing.
Do their own thing. They do their own world. They got their own vibe going, and they just crank it to 11, and I love it.
Yeah. It's so great to be a part of. So super thankful for that, and got to watch his rise. You know, because I've known him for 10 years, and got to see him come up and become this. You know, what he is now, which is amazing to have watched.
Did he start before you?
Yeah. He started before me.
Because he's like you're like Kevin Barnett and those guys who I'm friends with everybody. But he was like a little bit, he came earlier. And I remember when he came around. But it's amazing. You guys are kind of the same age, or is he older?
He's a little younger than me. Hannibal's like 2 or 3 years younger than me, I think.
Yeah, he started early.
I'm older than I look.
You're young.
I'm older than I look. When people are like, wait, what? I thought you were this age. And I'm like, nope, bitch, I'm not. So I got the
that
wisdom.
Forever 28 vibe on.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Forever 28. That's
Forever 28.
That's my store. Forever 28.
That's how I see it. Yeah.
Yes, that's the name of this episode, Forever 28.
Yeah, his fame level, he's just kind of came from obscurity, and now he tours constantly doing theaters and producing television shows and doing just like one-offs. He's going off on YouTube these days. Yeah,
just a great energy, creative energy to be around. Also a joke writer.
Yeah. I like what I've learned over the years with stand-up is like you got to do all of it. When I'm optimizing, like I'm improvising on stage, I'm staying loose, I'm being confident, but I'm also disciplined to like write like maybe like 40 minutes or 30 minutes every morning that is like in my notebook, and then I'll go back and circle like good stuff. Like when it's almost like working out. When I'm doing everything, I don't have to do it perfect, but if I'm doing a little bit of everything, then that's when I start seeing results.
Yeah, and I want to try to get to that level of just a little bit every day. Just a little bit every day.
Yeah,
and
it's
not
hard.
Have to be like, I have to sit down for 5 hours. No. Do 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Just meditate 10 minutes, 30 minutes, stretch a little bit. But always, it's all about the practice and doing it. And then eventually some
making it a habit. Yeah. So yay.
Yeah.
Rob, you inspire me too.
Oh, you inspire me. I'll let you go, but I'm just trying to be better. And since my new thing is I got to start reading books. Do you read books?
When I was a kid, you couldn't pry a book out of my hands. Like my mother would yell at me because I would be reading so much in the dark, like in the car at night with the headlights shining on the book. Like I was that nerd. But as I've gotten older, I've stopped. So that's one thing that I want to pick up more since we've been in quarantine. Because, once college hit, it's like you're forced to read all these books. And then it kind of takes the fun out of it when you're forced to read it. And then I just went straight into stand-up. So
stand-up lifestyle, it's not like sit at home and read a book type of lifestyle. It's hard.
Yeah. It's a very, active. And my mind is very active. Like my mind is always like, grrr. So yeah, I want to get back to that.
Same. That's one of my things. I want to stretch, and I'm going to try to read a little bit more. All right,
yes.
Joyelle, I'm going to let you go. You've been so nice to do this. And
and you're going to be a guest of mine on Stretches and Stories Saturdays, 6 p.m. on my IG Live because I'm contributing to society now.
I would love to do that, Joyelle. I'd love to do that. I would, hit me up. I'm down. Thank you so much for doing this. Yay. I appreciate Joyelle.
Good to see you.
So good to see you. I always love doing these things because I haven't seen anybody and it's been like half a year now.
Oh my God. It has been half a year.
And I'm like, I know some people out there. So I love seeing you, Joyelle. Thank you so much for being on the Cannabis Coffee Hour.
All right. Bye, boo.